Okay, welcome back with Dr. Pacoya McCall Robinson, and I'm bringing you March 2nd of the Daily Stoic, 366 days or 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. So again, we're starting off with a new month, and March is the month of awareness. So Seneca brings us the quote for today, which is accurate self assessment. So, yesterday we talked about where philosophy begins. And again, with awareness, where do we start with our awareness first? Usually it's best to start with yourself. So, I'll read the quote, and it says, above all, it is necessary for a person to have a true self estimate, for we commonly think we can do more than we really can. I like that. I definitely like that. How many of you guys sometimes often carry too much weight, or you hear, putting too many things on your plate, or burning the candle at both ends when we're trying to help ourselves and we're trying to help others? That could be friends and family members, and just showing up and trying to be present. And oftentimes we're not even aware of where we are in our own minds, bodies, and physicality, but we always reach out and we can say yes, 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 and taking on more and more and more. And sometimes that is actually at our demise. So I'll continue reading. Most people resist the idea of a true self-estimate, probably because they fear it might mean downgrading some of their beliefs about who they are and what they're capable of. As Goethe's maxim goes, it is a great failing to see yourself as more than you are. How could you really be considered self-aware if you refuse to consider your weaknesses? Don't fear self-assessment because you're worried you might have to admit some things about yourself. The second half of Goethe's maxim is important too. He states that it is equally damaging to value yourself at less than your true worth. It is not equally common to be surprised at how well we're able to handle a previously feared scenario. The way that we're able to put aside the grief for a loved one and care for others, though we always thought we'd be wrecked if something were to happen to our parents or siblings. The way we're able to rise to the occasion in a stressful situation or a life-changing opportunity, we underestimate our capabilities just as much as dangerously we overestimate our abilities. Cultivate the ability to judge yourself accurately and honestly. Cultivate the ability to judge yourself accurately and honestly. That is the big key here. Look inward to discern what you're capable of and what it will take to unlock that potential. That's a mouthful. And clearly I somehow stumbled through it like I couldn't read today, but I don't know what's going on. But the gist of that is within awareness and starting with self. It's always the best place. Awareness is knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses, and also being able to operate still within there with confidence. It's okay to not be the best at everything, or say, hey, this is my weakness. I need more training, or need more time, or I need more of a lesson. Whatever that is okay. That's this piece that I think is trying to shine through in the text of saying you can't help anyone until you understand where your own limitations are. And that doesn't mean just because you have a limitation that you're somehow completely on the other end of the spectrum and inadequate. I love the piece about knowing your self-worth. and how important that is today for everyone, especially if you're in corporate America. Knowing your self-worth is so important as far as how we market ourselves, what we kind of roles we take, paid positions we take, internships, whatever it is. It is being confident in knowing this is what my skill level is and this is how much my skill level is worth, and being okay with pushing forward and pushing through in a way that you're operating confidently and saying, no, I know this. I'm aware of where I am. So I encourage you all to, again, take this step again that we did yesterday with looking in the mirror and knowing what is our philosophy, and looking at ourselves in the mirror, and even now just saying, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? And if those weaknesses can be turned into strengths or enhanced or, even worked on in some way where you don't consider it a weakness anymore, or even being okay with that. Getting to this place where you're comfortable within your own skin and you're fully aware of what you come with, and those boundaries. We cannot help someone else if we do not help ourselves. And we are always much stronger than we think we are. And sometimes that can be to a fault when we are taking on too much and looking out for others, and definitely putting our well-being, or whether that's mental or physical well-being, on the back burner for others. Remember, no is not a terrible thing. It does not make you a terrible person. It actually makes you a much more healthy person, stable and aware. When you are able to say no because you cannot take on any more responsibility, because that somehow means you could drop something or give something else that deserves all of your attention, half of your attention. And that could be detrimental to any party involved in that situation. So it's just like when we're getting on airplanes. We're always told to, in case of an emergency, put your own mask on first before you can help the person in the seat next to you. So today, look within, put your mask on, and then see about helping someone else. All right, so thanks again for always tuning in. That is all I got for March 2nd. And I look forward to reading your comments and being able to engage and respond with you. Take care of yourself, and let's grow our awareness during this month of March, my March Madness. We'll try to see if we can get some sanity in there through our self-awareness. You all take care of yourselves and tune in tomorrow. And I will be right here with bringing you March 3rd and whatever the Stoics have for us in order to enhance our quality of life and, help us create a pretty picture in our art of living.